Welcome, and thank you for joining us for Contemporary Art Taos 2020, the Artist Interview Series. This series consists of short interviews between the artists featured in the exhibition and myself, and is released twice a month for the duration of the show. I'm Nicole, Curator of Collections and Exhibitions at the Harvard Museum of Art, and joining me today is Sarah Hart. Sarah has several of her posters, like the ones featured behind me, in our current show, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's start with a conversation about process. How do you go about creating one of these works?
Well, thanks for having me. And first of all, I want to thank you too, because you've done a lot of hard work and you adapted this show, and I know it's been a lot, so thank you. So as far as a poster goes, I usually start with a lot of sketches and listening to the music of the band, if it's for a band. And I'll give an example of one, which is this one. I'm feeling reminiscent about this because it was from February 8th, and it was from my anniversary party, which was like the last time I gathered with people and saw live music. So this one hits home for me. And so for this one, Art of Flying and Two Ton Strap, I do a lot of posters for, and I try to make the feeling of their posters different, but they were combined on this one. And so I usually start, this was my little sketch of this. And I love font. And I just take it from there. I print only on beer boxes. So I also have to cut a lot of beer boxes. And for this, it's a 2-color print, so I have to make 2 screens. I really enjoy the process of printmaking, and I do listen to the music of the bands, especially Art of Flying, while I print them. And yeah, that's my process for making things, for making posters. And for a lot of other posters, a lot of people don't have any specifics when they ask me to make something. And it's very animal driven, as you can tell from behind you. I studied wildlife ecology in college.
It's a universal language, like everyone knows what they're looking at.
This is my machine. My beautiful screen printing machine.
So
yes.
Printmaking has a special place in history as a democratic tool against structures of power. The materials are accessible, it's easy to distribute, it's not cost prohibitive, it's especially easy to distribute in public places, sometimes without permissions. And because of that, printmaking and poster making have ties to politics, to protest, to subversion, especially to grassroots politics. Is that something that appeals to you in the medium? Of course
it does. And I would say that my work is not overly political, but I'm inspired by it. And I did do some political stuff. I did some Bernie Sanders posters in 2016, and I did some Women's March stuff up above. But I do feel I am inspired by it, and I do admire people who are overly political. But I would say that for me, more than like waving a sign, it's like getting involved in a community and my own outreach in the community. And I do know, like, over the last like 5 years probably, I've found a real love for working with kids, children and teenagers. And I've realized that screen printing is my tool, and a lot of them, when I've worked with them, have printed like political messages and stuff, and I feel like that's my role, is to teach that. My work definitely is more, I think it's more of a relief. And I think I just want to offer something like just to make you smile. And I do really wish I was kind of more political with my work. And it doesn't mean that I'm not a political person, or I don't want to protest, but I just think my role is something different. Does that make any sense?
You're sort of using the medium for your voice specifically.
Yeah, for my voice, but then also teaching people who, I feel like we have a lot to learn from kids and teenagers. And just overworking with like the high school internship program with Juna. I want to say hi to her. And with Twirl at the event, and with the TCA, I worked at the UNA school, and now I'm starting a program with them with Vista Grande. And I think teaching those kids that that this can be a tool for their voice is what maybe my role is.
No,
in some way that is political.
In some ways that is showing young people that they have power, that they can get their voice out, and there are these tools accessible to them. I think that's very powerful.
Yeah. Well,
so
thank you.
Related to what you said, printmaking also has a long history in connection with music, especially punk rock or the DIY scene. Musicians can advertise, they can bring subcultures together. Is bringing people together a goal of your art making?
I would say yes. I love to support live music. I miss it so much. And I miss the gathering of people. And for me, you know, when I first started off, I was just making posters for people because I wanted to practice this craft. And I wanted to get people to live shows. And so in a way, yeah, I would say gathering people has motivated me, but also printmaking has really been like a coping tool for me. I've had tragedy in my life, and this has been kind of an escape for me, but also at the same time, stay connected to people who were important to me. But yes, driving people to come to live shows is definitely motivates me. I miss it so much.
Me too.
Live shows so much.
Into a concert.
Yeah, I can't wait. I have like 15 to 30 different posters ready for when we can gather again. And I do want to thank, like, Seiko Live hired me for their virtual shows, which I really appreciated because that felt really good. But yeah, I want to gather again and see live music.
So there's a tradition of hierarchy within art mediums. And I've found that screen printing isn't always treated with the most respect, and that hierarchy is definitely rooted in these histories of socioeconomic privilege or cultural judgment. Oil painting and sculpture have this strong origination in wealthy European traditions. In my opinion, it's totally wrong, considering that screen printing, printmaking has been a part of so many cultural movements. It's facilitated so many cultural movements. Do you think that you need to argue for the legitimacy of your medium within the art world?
I felt like I did when I first was starting off. And let's see, now it's been 12 years since I started the print shop. And I do say that at first I was just printing posters on beer boxes for bands. And then I think things changed a little bit when I opened On Me Gallery. And the focus of that was really more affordable art. And I felt a little backlash from that. Taos has like an amazing history of art, and I have the utmost respect for that. But I do feel like there is a place for this kind of art, and everyone deserves art, and everyone deserves affordable art. And I want to thank some people who really, Greg Moon of Greg Moon Gallery was very supportive, and Georgia from Magpie, and Maya Torres, Studio 107B. They really made me feel welcome. And then after the Fall Arts nominated me and awarded me the Visual Artist Award. I think that gave me some confidence that I did have a place here, and it was more than just on a bulletin board. And then this show, I am like extremely honored and grateful to you, Nicole. Thank you.
I think you're so right. And just personally, whenever I first came to Taos, I saw your poster on the bulletin board at Sid's. Your the show at the print shop was the first one I went to when I was here. So I think there's this visual language that you've become a part of in Taos that is really so powerful.
Thank you.
And everyone who has been here for a while is certainly familiar with your aesthetic. And that's a very strong function of art, of the art world that you've accomplished.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that people were just taking posters after the show, though. Take them after the show. Because there are people who would like wake up early to go get the one from Sid's, and that meant a lot to me.
That was an elaborate poster.
Thank you.
So I'll ask you the question that every artist gets in these interviews. This exhibition is limited to artists from Taos or with deep roots in Taos. What is your personal connection to this place?
Whew. I'm gonna get a little emotional. I moved here 20 years ago. And I was here for about 4 years. I was working at Eski's Brew Pub, and then I left and went to Chicago, and my life changed a lot. I lost my partner and then decided to come back to Taos to heal, and I looked to Taos mostly because Taos really puts you under a magnifying glass. Just personally, I feel, I don't know, for some reason it made me like really heal myself and look at what was going on. And I just wanted to come back to the place where I knew myself last by myself. And so I came back here and I just started printing. And I started printing because Casey, my partner who had passed away, was a screen printer. And I wanted to find a way to honor him in a way and stay close to him. And so I taught myself to screen print, and I feel like this is a great place and a community that really believes in art. And so I just did it. I just was like printing and printing and printing and practicing and practicing and practicing for 12 years. And then, yeah, I feel really grateful to Taos because it did heal me and has given me a great life, and I love this community. And thank you to Kevin, who has been incredible support. He's my partner now, and he's in 2 Ton Strap, and they're really who gave me the chance to print and print and print. And I couldn't do it without them.
Thank you for sharing such a personal story. It's really incredible that you process this tragedy and something that, you know, I think most of us would associate with a very joyful end product. Like, I think, you know, a lot of people do find relief in the work that you've made. So that's truly incredible that it came out of that situation.
Well, I do too. Yeah, I like to make things that make me smile and make other people smile. It's really that simple.
I think you accomplished that. Thank you so much for sharing today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us and being a part of the show. Thank you all on Facebook Live for watching. Join us next time on February 3rd for our interview with Sean Ratliff.
Thank you. Bye.